Now let us understand the other problem. Which feature need to take the first split? Okay, let us understand the other problem. Which feature to take the split? Now let us say I have a feature 1 here. Let us say I have a feature 1 here. Okay. Now it has splitted into two categories, C1 and C2. Okay. For the feature 1 here, let us say we have total number of outputs with 9 yes and 5 no's, and here I would like to make it with 6 yes and 2 no's, 3 yes and 3 no's. This is my problem statement. Now we also have another feature called F2. Okay, now here we may have three categories for feature F2: C1, C1, C2 and C3. Now we may have another feature again from here. Okay, again from here we are trying to take the splits until it gets purity split. Okay, now how do we know which one to take the first? So for that we are trying to use an information gain. Okay, we're trying to use a method called information gain. Now let us understand the formula for information gain. So it will be written as gain S and F1. S is a sample and F1 is a feature, is equal to H of S, which is called entropy. This is for root node, and summation of V belongs to value sample V divides by sample modulus of sample V H of sample V. So this is our formula for information gain. Now let us look at the problem statement here. So we have here 9 yes and 5 no's. Okay, and this is our root node. This is our root node. Now let us apply entropy per our root node. Okay, now what is our entropy formula here? H of S is equal to minus P plus log base 2 P plus minus P minus log base 2 P minus. Okay, now this is our formula. Now here I can write for this node. Okay, for root node we have total 9 plus 5, which is 14. Now probability of plus means probability of yes, it should be 9 here, minus 9 by 14 log to the base 2 9 by 14 minus probability of no, it will be 5 divides by 14, and log to the base 2 with 5 by 14. So this is our entropy for root node, which is equal to we'll get, after solving this we'll get 0.94. Now let us also calculate for the categories here. We have C1 and C2. Now let us calculate the entropy for category C1. For that I'll just write here H of C1 is equal to, here we have Total 6 plus 2 will be 8. Probability of yes will be 6 minus log to the base 2. 6 divides 8 minus probability of no will be 2 divides by 8 log to the base 2. 2 divides 8. Now we have for category 1 will be equal to, which is 0.81. We'll get 0.81 after solving this. Okay. Now we have here another one, okay, which is a category 2. Now by looking at it, we can just simply say that it is having 50% probability. Now we have already drawn here our entropy graph. So when we have 50% probability, we have our entropy is 1. We can also do by solving, but by common sense we can just apply that. Now we'll get here h of C2, entropy for category 2 will be 1. So now we have all these values here. Let us substitute that in our formula, which is called information gain. Let us see what we get here. Okay, now I can write here gain yes f1 feature 1 for sample s. Okay, now here h of s is our root node, which is 0.94 minus, and we have here the summation, right? So here we have an entropy which is uh, entropy for category 1 as well as entropy for category 2. Now let us concentrate on the entropy category 1. So this h of sv will be 0.81. Okay, I'll write here 0.81 multiplied by 0.81 multiplied by, we have total samples of 14 here. We have total samples of 14. 9 plus 5 is equal to 14. So that we will be writing here 14. And we have SV. This is for our this category 1. So for that we have 8. So it will be 8 divides 14 multiplied by 0.1. And similarly we have for the category 2 as well. So for category 2 we have all 14 samples, 14 total samples, and for category 2 we have 6 multiplied by the entropy category 2, which is 1. So after calculating we get gain of S1 and F1 will be equal to 0.049. Right, now we have got the information gain for feature F1. Okay, we have got information gain for feature F1. Now let us not go and calculate for the feature F2, but let us assume that feature F2 has a gain of 0.051. Okay, now we have got, suppose, this value for feature F2. Now which feature should I start splitting first with the help of this information? Which feature should I start splitting first? Obviously feature 2, because we have more information gain. So here we have gain of feature 2 is more than gain of feature 1. So definitely we are going to use the feature F2 for our splitting. Feature F2 for splitting. So this is the method for selecting the features.